Hi there, and welcome back to the Mobile School Playground. Today I will explain to you how to use the Universal Goose Board panel. With this panel you can turn every discussion panel on the Mobile School into a creative and accessible board game. So you'll always use this panel in combination with a discussion panel you like. Right now we selected this market panel over here. Now what do you need to play the game? Of course you will need the magnetic goose board panel. You will need any discussion panel you like. You'll also need a dice and you'll need some bottle caps and chalk to play the game. Then you're ready and set to go, so let's have a look at how to play this game. In order to play the game, you will gather all the bottle caps of all the players in the middle of the board on the white square over here. Then all the players can spin the rotation disc or can throw a dice, and the player with the highest number is the one who can start the game. So imagine I'm the one with the highest number. I can start a game. I spin the disc. It lands on 4, so I can move 4 spaces forward in any direction I like. Let me say over here, I move 1, 2, 3, 4. And I land on this orange square. You'll see that each colored square represents a specific task that you need to complete in combination with the discussion panel on the left-hand side. So I landed on the orange square, and orange represents a word game. It can be, for example, a taboo game in which you need to describe a specific situation or person without saying a few words. Or you can voice your opinion about a certain situation you see on the panel. For example, you can give your opinion about the boy playing over here with the ball on the market. Along the board game, you will also find squares in other colors, which represent different tasks. Let us have a look. Like for example, the pink square over here with a clock. This means like what happens next. So the street educator will point out a situation on the panel, and the player needs to tell what would happen next. So for example, street educator can point to this situation over here, where a boy is playing with a ball, and then the player needs to tell like what would happen next in this situation. For example, he will lose his ball on the market while playing, for example. Other squares that you can find on the board game are a light green square with a looking glass, and this means searching and counting. So the street educator points out an object on the panel, and the player will need to count or search for these objects. For example, can you find a car? So you can count the number of cars that you see on the panel. You can also find a dark green square represented by 2 masks, and this means role play. So the player will need to role play a specific person, object or animal that you can find on the panel. Let's say I want to enact this knight over here standing on the market. The blue square represented by the pencil means draw something on the blackboard. So you can make a drawing of a car, and the other players need to guess what you are drawing on the blackboard. And then you have the red square, which means what does he or she see on the panel. So the street educator looks for a situation or a person on the panel. Let's say the lady on the balcony over here. And you'll ask the street kid to tell a story about what does she see. So she is looking, I think, to the market area below, and she sees a lot of things happening over there. So the player will tell a story about what does the lady see. There are also 2 special squares on the Universal Goose board, which is the hand over here, which means skip a turn. So a player will need to skip his turn, will need to wait there during one turn. And then you'll also see the dice over here, which means throw again. So if you land on this square, you can just throw again and move further on the board. Like mentioned before, the Universal Goose board is an 8-shaped board game, so there's no specific end. So while playing with the kids, you can say, okay, we will play this game for 20 minutes. Or you can say the winner of the game is the one who completes 1/8 of the board game It all depends, of course, on the time that you have with the kids, the concentration level, and the target group you work with. So feel free to use the Universal Goose Board with many different discussion panels to keep the game attractive and interesting for your target group. We hope you'll have fun with it on the streets, and we'll hope to see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.